Morning, guys. So I thought we'd just do a little bit of a Q&A here. I'm just cutting these lentils. So don't mind me if I get a little distracted and I run for my joystick, okay? Anyway, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of questions regarding the John Deere X9. And basically the question is, Mike, is that thing coming to your farm or is it not coming to your farm? And I would like to tell you that John Deere has confirmed it to come to our farm. So yes, the John Deere X9 is going to make an appearance. You will get to see it. And you can guarantee you we will be testing it. The second question is, Mike, is the Ideal 10T without the steering wheel going to be making an appearance at your farm? And I'd like to point out that AGCO has also confirmed that. So yes, we're going to get to do a walk around. We're going to get to see the 10T, and we're most definitely going to put it to the test as well. Mike, is there going to be a clause showing up at your farm? Clause themselves has not actually said that, Mike, we're going to guarantee you a particular unit. No. But our dealership has been working overtime trying to find us something so we can run it and demo it and try that as well. So as of right now, that's kind of up in the air. But no, clause has not come to the table and said that we're going to do any particular thing. Mike, before the Fendt Ideal combines, what kind of combines have you run? And the answer is, well, I actually learned how to combine on a Massey 860 combine. If you scroll down the videos, we actually still have a 760. Those Massey 760, 860s were gems. Like, they're freaking awesome combines and very large capacity for their size and for their time. So that's how I learned to combine, with a 30-foot Massey header, auger table. We ran those all the way up till like the 9600 John Deere days, and we've been green ever since. Hold on here. Sorry about that. I had a slew I had to go around. So we ran 930 30-foot headers on the 9600s, and then we actually upgraded it to 35-foot auger tables with the fingers going all the way down. And we had those, I think, on 96, 60s, 97. Anyway, the 60 and 70 series combines, the rotary combines. And from there, we moved up into the 690s with 40-foot drapers. And then we're like, man, 40's not nearly big enough. So then we went 45-foot drapers, different 690s. And then we're like, man, 45 feet isn't big enough. So then we actually switched out of the 690s and went to the Ideals and went 50 feet. And to be honest, 50 feet isn't big enough. And I'm really looking forward to the next chapter in the header world. So I know the other question is, Mike, how come you run Honeybee headers? Like, MacDon's like the most popular header in the world, it seems. And or maybe even go with a Dynaflex and pair it up with the AGCO. And that's actually a really quick and easy answer for you guys, is because, first of all, Glenn and Greg Honey, who manufacture these headers, they're our friends and neighbors. Second of all, they're built and manufactured like 20-30 minutes away from us. So, like, parts is no problem. Heck, we could probably snap one right in half, and they could probably quickly put it back together for us in like 4 days. Or heck, they could just give us something off their assembly line. Like, they're awesome to work with, all right? So that's just a no-brainer. And also, I should have, we wanted 50 feet last year. It's funny because everybody's racing to get the 50-foot header. John Deere come out with a 50-foot header. How much, they're doing all the calculations, how efficient you are with this 50-foot header. AGCO's coming out with a 50-foot header. MacDon is playing around with a 50-foot header over in Australia. At least that's what I was told last year. Everyone's trying to get out to the 50-foot header, but I'm pretty sure like Honeybee came out with a 50-foot header in like 2015. Like, this is like 5 years ago for them. And they've played around, they've had 50-foot swathers out since the 80s. And maybe even the 75. So, like, the Honeybee, they're like, oh my goodness, like, they're already on to the next step. So, it's just so funny to watch from the outside. Anyways, they're good headers. They're really light. They follow the ground, and they're a true flex. Next question. Combines. So, very common question. Mike, why the heck did you just buy Ideal combines? Like, why? You've been green for years and years and years. You were so green, you're almost peeing green. Your underwear was green. Everything was green. Well, you're probably not wrong. But, once you've been green for so long, sometimes you just want to try something. It doesn't matter if you're green or red. Sometimes you just want to try something different. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me you don't get the urge to strip down to your skivvies and jump into your neighbor's pool. No? Alright, that must just be me then. Anyways, yeah. We're something different. The Ideal has a lot of impressive specs. Yes, it's got lots of pros, it's got lots of cons, just like any color. And we'll continue to do some walk-arounds, and you're gonna get to continue to get to know this combine, and gonna get to compare it up against the X9 and the Fendt 10, and also maybe at the Claws if it makes its way down here. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the combine side of things. So the next question is, Mike, how many acres can you get done with those combines in a day? And I get it, that's a fun question. But the reality of that is it's super loaded, very complex, and not easy to answer. So to put that in perspective, that's like walking into a room and asking a group of people what political party they vote for. Everyone's going to have their own opinions. Everyone's going to have their own reasons for those opinions, and someone is going to leave hurt. So I'm just going to throw a few things out there that you would have to take into consideration when answering that particular question. One is, what crop are you combining? Are you combining lentils? Combining chickpeas? Are you combining canola? Are you combining wheat? Are you combining flax? Are you combining corn? Are you combining oats? Are you combining barley? All makes a big difference, you guys. There is no one big happy medium, X amount of acres a day, done. No, impossible. I'm going to throw out some other factors for you. Did it do in the morning? How early were you able to start? Did it do in the evening? How early did you have to shut down? Other factors be like, how many bushels an acre is it yielding? And with the bushels an acre, how hard are you pushing that combine? What's acceptable losses to you? Because every combine is going to puke out grain out the back. The harder you push it, it's going to go out the back. It doesn't matter what kind of combine you could have. You could have Alexian X9 Fendt 10T. She's going out the back if you're going to push it super duper hard. Okay, that's just a fact of life. So what it might be acceptable for you might not, or me might not be for you, and vice versa. All right. Is the straw green? Is the straw ripe? Did you desiccate it? What did you desiccate it with? Did you desiccate it with Roundup? Did you desiccate it with Reglone? Did you desiccate it with Roundup and heat? What rate of heat did you use? There's so many different factors, okay? How about how tall? What variety are you growing? Are you growing short straw? Or are you growing tall straw? Maybe you just had a really good crop and you have all straw and you have no bushels. That can happen too. We call that Trudeau wheat when it's all straw, nothing in the head. Sorry, I couldn't help myself, but it's so true. We actually do call it that. What about other factors like, do you have to move very far? Are you just doing like 1 quarter at a time and then you got to move? Or you're moving. So how far are you moving? Are you moving 1 mile? Are you moving 2 miles? Are you moving 25 miles? Are you on one big field, or are you doing, or maybe you're on the 6,000 acre field you have to move? Talking about that field, are you on a flat field with no objects to go around, or do you have to go around objects like lots of sloughs, lots of trees, lots of bush? Are you on a rolly field? Do you got lots of washouts? Hold on. I gotta shut this radio off. There's so many factors. Oh, you're on cereals now. Okay, so you can cut it faster. You got a lot more bushels going in. How far do you have to haul your grain? Or how many trucks you got going? Are you bagging it in the field to help keep the backlog away? How many grain carts you got? Also for cutting, do you have new sections on your header, or do you have dull sections on your header? It makes a big difference. There's so many factors, you guys, that go into something like that, as you can tell. So, also is, how many times did you break down in that day? Oh, you didn't break down at all. Okay, awesome. How many times did you break down in that other day? It's not a matter of if you break down, it's just a matter of when you break down. Why? Because everything breaks down. We've run lots of different colors. It all breaks. That's the thing. If it's man-made, it's going to break. Welcome to life. So you did break down. Okay, so how far is your servicing dealer? Do you got to go 100 miles? You got to go 200 miles? Or are they just 10 miles down the road? Oh, okay, awesome. So they're close. Do you happen to have parts on hand? How many parts do you have on hand? Did you have the right part on hand? There's so many factors that go into that. So this is what I say every time I get asked that question. Mike, how many acres do you do in a day? I say, we start at 6, we shut down at 10, we work as hard as we can, and that's it. That's it. Next question. Okay, next question. So Mike, you obviously said you don't have scales in the grain carts, and also apparently you don't calibrate your combine yield, because apparently you don't care. That's true. Okay, then, so obviously you don't care about like VR, variable rate seed, fertilizer, and so on and so forth, and using the combine maps for your seeding maps. That's also true. What? No. Mike, all large farms, all modern progressive farms do VR and do all that sort of stuff. Yeah, well, been there, done that. Didn't like it. My little coins didn't come back to me. So, no. question. Does that mean, Mike, you are against all the advances that we're making in technology? Absolutely not. I'm all for it. Especially sectional control on the air drill. Awesome. Huge money saver. Sectional control on the sprayers. Awesome. Huge money saver. But sometimes, in some areas, we're overcomplicating farming, you guys. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I'm all for advancing technology. All right. Give me automation, but give me automation in this big a piece of equipment. Don't give me automation in some hunky little piece of crap of a little thing. I don't want 100 little things running around out there. Can barely keep the technology going that we have currently. I want big. I want less of them. So at least if I have to work with bugs, I only got to work with a few of them and not 100 of them. I am not a guy who thinks that, oh, we got about to have 100 of these little wee combines running around, all about 100 of these little drones spraying and stuff. No. Give me automation. Give it to me in big equipment. Give it to me in my same equipment. And let's move on. Well, Mike, you're really bucking the trend there, buddy, because I hate to break it to you, pal, but that's not how we're going. We're going less, we're going smaller, and we're going more. That's my response to that. In fact, probably shouldn't get me going on some of these hot topics that are highly debated in the ag world nowadays. You might not like all my opinions that I have on them. We all have opinions, and that's okay. You know what? It's actually okay to have an opinion. It's actually okay. And I respect your opinion, buddy. I do. Just respect mine. Now, with that being said, I think we're just about burnt up all the time that we can afford to burn up right now. So until the next Q&A, have yourself a good one. Next question. Mike, why don't you use a GoPro? We know that you're using your phone. Why don't you use a GoPro so we can have a little bit higher quality video and sound from you? Great question. Answer is, I don't feel like carrying a GoPro around. To be quite honest, I always have my phone in my pocket. I have a pocket that fits perfectly my phone. It does not fit a GoPro. I'm not going to have a stick and carry around a stick with a little handle on my arm. Not going to do that. It has zero interest for me. If I had a GoPro, you probably wouldn't watch half the material that you're watching today, to be quite honest with you. Because I'm not going to carry it, and I'm going to miss something. There's going to be a fire out there. There's going to be something, and I'm going to miss it because I don't have my stinking GoPro. Or I don't have time to edit the GoPro and move stuff, charge my GoPro. You know how often I forget to charge stuff? I can barely remember to charge my phone. And the only reason why I do is because it's my alarm clock. So, good question. I do have a GoPro. I would use a GoPro in circumstances where I'm on my Maverick side-by-side, but not as an everyday for you to watch videos. I just don't have any time, nor do I want to carry a GoPro with me. All right, next question. Mike, it looks like you're kind of all over the place out there. Do you have any structure, rhyme, or reason with how you're cutting for your grain carts? And absolutely, we have no idea what the crap we're doing. To be honest with you, I just hit the field and I just take off. Sometimes I go on an angle. Another combine kind of goes out over there. And sometimes we don't even go to the same fields. Yeah, of course, we have some structure. We have a little bit, you know. But to be honest, we're cutting lentils. They're not high yielding. They're tough cutting because they're green straw. We're not breaking any speed records out here. The grain carts have zero problem keeping up, so we don't have to worry about that. Once we get into a little higher yielding stuff like wheat and durum, then we'll actually cut up a little bit more structure. We actually skip passes is what we do. We're not subject to anything when I don't like following anybody. I don't want to be in their dust. I'm not going to be subject to them. Maybe they're a new green operator. They're just trying to learn the equipment. Maybe they're not quite as fast as I am. Maybe they don't push as hard as I do. Whatever. There's all these different reasons. No, we don't follow each other. By golly George, that's just a recipe for disaster. We do not do that. We skip passes is what we'll do. We'll break stuff up into a quarter. No big deal. The most important thing is, you guys, is that the combines do not wait. As long as the combines don't wait, then it doesn't really matter. The grain carts like to drive around. The worst thing for a grain cart driver, to be honest with you, is just sitting there like this. Yo, you want to dump? No, I'm good. You're gonna frickin' dump. You know what I mean? Like, That's not fun for grain cart operators. They want to rip around. So sometimes we have some structure, but only when we need it. All right, guys, that's it for the questions for today. Sorry you had to look at my sorry face the whole video. The next video I will flip it around. I do. I switch things up. Sometimes I'll do a quiet video. Sometimes you'll have to look at my sorry face, and other times you won't ever see me for about a month. Mostly because I didn't have time to shave, and I didn't want to look like Grizzly Adams. But anyway, this is it. I've burnt up your time. You've burnt up mine. I enjoy you guys. I hope you enjoy this. Hit the subscribe button, and have a freaking good one.